United Airlines starts every business day with serviceable aircraft at the gate, ready to fly. And customers have come to trust United to keep its aircraft safe and reliable. Each person who works in United's Maintenance Operations Division is responsible to both the airline and the public to supply clean, safe, and reliable aircraft for revenue flights. The mission of the Maintenance Division is to maintain aircraft better than anyone else in order to assure quality service while at the same time emphasizing continuous improvement and employee involvement. This program gives a quick overview of United's Maintenance Operations Division, then concentrates on the different skills involved in airframe maintenance, the division's largest single department. When many people think of aircraft maintenance, they picture a mechanic working on an aircraft at a gate. That's because line mechanics at the gate are the employees that are most visible to the public. But in reality, most of the maintenance happens behind the scenes in large hangar facilities at United's major hubs. Mechanics at these service centers often work at night, performing scheduled maintenance that requires more ground time than is available during the day. By far, United's largest maintenance facility is the Maintenance Operations Center, or MOC, in San Francisco. The MOC operates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Inside, the MOC has 7 narrow-body and 2 wide-body docks, which can accommodate up to 15 aircraft at any given time. Outside, ramp space is utilized year-round because of San Francisco's mild climate. One of the largest departments at the MOC is Airframe Maintenance, or SFO-OV. Commonly called OV for Overhaul, this department employs over 2,600 mechanics. It's responsible for completing most of the heavy maintenance for United and the pre-service of new aircraft as well. All aircraft are maintained on a continuous basis, but about every 4 years, each aircraft in United's fleet undergoes an extended scheduled maintenance visit. The names for this visit vary, but the work content is similar. For this program, we will call it an HMV, or Heavy Maintenance Visit. When the aircraft arrives for its visit, it has been through many takeoff and landing cycles and has generated millions of dollars in revenue for United. It's ready for refurbishment and a well-deserved rest. The HMV lasts anywhere from 10 to 25 days and involves every department at the MOC. Mechanics in airframe maintenance specialize in many different skills. Let's follow a 737-300 through its scheduled HMV and listen to representatives of each skill and what they have to say about their role in the overhaul process. The first stop for an aircraft coming into overhaul is the wash rack.
When the airplane comes in, it's extremely dirty. And for the purposes of an intensified inspection, it has to be cleaned. When the plane comes in, the flaps are dropped, spoilers are raised, wheel wells are open, panels removed, and basically we just soap the aircraft with wheel well soap and flap cleaner, clean it with hot steam and water, and basically that's it.
Inbound aircraft is going to be in here probably within 30 minutes. It's all set to come in. It's all washed, it's all opened up. As soon as we get it in, let's go ahead and work as a team like we normally do. Cabin people up on the upper deck and the sheet metal assistant general skills getting it in. Let's get up on jacks, get the cabin opened up.
When the airplane first get in, our job is to remove the carpets, the seats, the side walls, and gut it out so that inspection could come in, so our sheet metal mechanics could come in and work on whatever problem that needs to be fixed. Like the chairs, go over to the chair shop in 425. The sidewalls, we do all the refurbishing ourselves. Stove bins, we do all the refurbishing. Sometimes they need to get painted, so we might ship it down to the paint shop. Then we do some bench work, and then that's when we start refurbishing the stove bins and sidewalls at the bench.
Within hours, the cabin is stripped, so the sheet metal mechanics can begin their open-up.
Our responsibility after the open-up is to work routine job cards, which may be COA to modify the aircraft, in a certain way and to work non-routine write-ups, which are write-ups that are found by inspection during the preliminary inspection process. This airplane, we're working on large COA, which modifies the galley floor structure and ceiling structure, which enables us to put larger galleys in the aircraft and to add a galley to the aircraft.
A passenger's opinion of an airworthy aircraft starts with its appearance. Our corporate identity program includes a paint scheme that helps the public recognize United as a modern, clean, safe, and reliable carrier. Aircraft are painted during overhaul visits. Initially, painters work around the other groups to get the aircraft masked and the windows covered. Then, at the earliest opportunity, they strip off the paint, leaving the skin exposed for intensified inspection. Airframes and power plants are on totally different schedules, but an HMV for the airframe also means a thorough inspection and service of the engines.
The engine's removed from the strut primarily for strut inspection, engine mount replacement, or further inspection on that itself. Basically an overall view of everything that we can't get to with the engine in place. Most of the maintenance is done normally with the engine on the aircraft, but at HMV1 we remove it for strut inspection and isolator replacement. If at any point at borescope inspection we find difficulty inside any discrepancies with the turbine blades or stator vanes, burner cans, etc., it goes to the turbine shop for a more in-depth overhaul or replacement. We are not set up on the dock for heavy engine maintenance within the engine itself. We do mostly what's outside the engine.
Fuel for the engines is a major expense for the airline. United Airlines uses 1% of all the fuel that's consumed in the United States each day, so conserving fuel is a primary concern. Aircraft fuel tanks are generally in the wings of an aircraft. Some of the mechanics at the maintenance base are fuel specialists.
On a normal heavy maintenance visit, we defuel the plane, sump it, open up the tanks, air it out, let the inspector go in and do his preliminaries. If he finds any defects, then he would notify us to repair the defects. We would repair it, close up the tanks, put fuel on board, and then static check it or pressure check it. If it checks good, we go ahead and sign off our work and move on to the next plane.
A passenger's impression of an airline doesn't end with what they see. The degree of comfort a passenger feels also leaves a lasting impression. Cabin temperature is regulated by air conditioning systems located between the wings in the belly of the aircraft, and they're maintained by air conditioning specialists.
With this aircraft, the 737-300, we're one of the first to work on the maintenance of it. So we're initiating new paperwork and stringent requirements all the time. On this specific pack, we've replaced the air cycle machine up here. We've cleaned the water separator bag. We're replacing right now exhaust louver doors. They had a defect, too much wear. So we're replacing some bushings, links, arms, louvers, a combination of items to bring it back into the specs which are required by United.
Outboard of the air conditioning pack bays are the main landing gear, which, along with the flight controls, operate hydraulically. Hydraulic specialists test and service these systems.
Yeah, when the airplane come in for overhaul, first thing we do, we swing the gear, bring it up, put it up in the wheel well, check the rigging or forward leading edges here for fair. Then we check all the bearings here, check for wear limits, make sure they're within limits. Every time we come, we yank the uplock actuator off, and we service A and B hydraulic system in the wheel well there.
The essential link between a captain's command and reality are cables that go from the cockpit to the hydraulic actuators that operate the flight control surfaces. Riggers ensure that these systems operate properly.
In our visits, this is a HMV1, a heavy maintenance visit, number one. We go through a bunch of checks, mainly checking for wear, because usually these airplanes come in and they run out of time, but they're still flyable, they're still serviceable. But because they run out of time, according to the FAA, that we have to do our checks for trailing edge play for pressure drops, for worn parts, because a lot of times, no matter how well you design a certain product, there will be abnormal wear or normal wear. And in this case, we're going to rectify it by repairing it or replacing the part and bringing it back to almost, well, pretty much new specifications. So when we do push it out in 8 days, a pilot and co-pilot can get into the saddle and say, this is a brand new airplane, and they can expect it to service the airline for the expected 4 to 5 years.
Many systems on an aircraft are controlled electrically. Everything from the coffee makers to the black boxes are the responsibility of radio electronic mechanics, or R&Es.
The electrical part is our strong point. We're doing everything electrical on this airplane. Other skills, everything is branched off. As you know, you have your engine mechanics, your hydraulic mechanics. They're all A&Ps, sheet metal, cabin. But R&Es, all we deal with is the wiring and electrical part of the airplane. Other skills I work with are the cockpit man. Depending on the job, of course, it could be engines for one particular job, or cabin on another job as far as the galleys and inside the cabin itself for like music at the seats, or the airphone, or the coffee makers at the galley itself.
Well, the mechanics are required to have their own certain amount of tools on their own, hand tools, various wrenches and so on, and we're here to provide more expensive pneumatic tools, testers, and other expendable parts and tools, drill bits, routers, gauges, all sorts of gauges. The mechanic comes to the window, requests a tool or other part that he might need. We locate the tool on shelves here and issue it out to him. It's pretty well guaranteed that we have what they need.
As the targeted release date for the aircraft approaches, the different skills work with a cockpit mechanic to bring the aircraft back together.
Flap man load 0, indicating 0 and normal. We're 0, 0 normal. Flaps coming down, 25 on the flap handle.
30 on the flap handle, clear.
Initially, during the overhaul, we are responsible for the removals from the cockpit seat assemblies, the pertinent flight paraphernalia, panels, anything that needs to be repaired or refurbished. During the overhaul, we act as a coordinator for the different systems that are being operated, where we might operate flight controls in a manner that once we've been cleared, that would be safe for all the people involved. We are responsible for intermixing each of the skills, giving them each an opportunity to work and to operate safely where they don't impact each other. At the end of the overhaul, we are responsible for completing the refurbishing of the aircraft and testing all the pertinent systems prior to release to the line.
Usually, on the last weekend before release, the aircraft receives its new coat of paint.
The customers perceive the airworthiness of the aircraft by the initial appearance that they see it at. If there's a good paint job, they feel good flying. As painters, we do the job as we can, so we're usually working around everybody person to person. On weekends, when everybody else is off, we have the plane to ourselves to do the major portion of the paint job. We strip it and paint it on the weekends.
The aircraft undergoes a final walk-around before it's pushed out of the hangar.
Everything's gone real well for us so far. We've got ahead of schedule on getting the airplane out. So right now we got the tug coming, and we've got every mechanic off the airplane, and we're moving it outside. We had a lot of hard work from everybody involved, and we had very little problems with the airplane all the way around. So we managed to get it out ahead of schedule.
Each aircraft, fresh out of overhaul, is turned over to the ramp. It's put through a rigorous flight test by one of United's engineering flight test crews to ensure that the aircraft meets original factory specifications. And then it's returned to the line. When the aircraft pushes for daily passenger operations, the heavy maintenance clock restarts at 0.